Welcome to this episode of, I don't want to say podcast, I want to say episode of blank. We don't know yet. It's a filler title. You'll see it on the title. Anyway, I am joined by this beautiful NPC that I have beside me. Doesn't have a name apparently, but we'll just go with NPC. Anyway, welcome to this episode.
Thanks. It's a pleasure being here. So yeah, why don't you kind of kick off on which direction you want to take this?
Well, definitely Pokemon related. That is the point of this channel. Well, I mean, do you have any questions for me, like backstory or anything like that?
Definitely backstory. I'm very curious in general about what shapes a human being into who they become in their adulthood. And you have such a passion for Pokemon, and I would just love to hear like where that came from, how it developed, what keeps you so involved and intrigued with it, even so far into your life.
I love the pain. I love the pain of grinding my Pokemon level by level in every generation of every game of that generation. And I think, like, for most people my age, the answer would probably be nostalgia. Just wanting to feel like a kid again and just kind of like recapture that point in time a little bit. You know, simpler times, life was easy, for me at least. And then laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it maybe wasn't easy for everybody,
Oh
but
God, here we go. Um, no, I mean, I just love Pokemon. I don't know. Again, it's like nostalgia. It's the grind of playing through the game and just trying to make your Pokemon stronger, building a bond, and just that sort of thing. But I think a lot of it really does, and just simplicity. I'll add that in, simplicity. My personal favorite, if you don't know, my personal favorite generations are going to be the first four. Majority of the first three. Sometimes I'll play Gen 4. I'm doing a playthrough on that actually currently. Um, been totally slacking on the uploads though. For the Gen 4 playthrough, I've been slacking on that. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to add anything else to that?
yeah, so tell me kind of how it started. Like, little you, how did you even get your hands on Pokemon? Like, did you come across this somewhere? Was it a gift? Did somebody really just get you involved? Was this a self-guided thing? Like, tell me about where it began.
Good question. Well, yeah, as a kid, young me, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. Red and Blue just came out in the United States. Japan had Red and Green, and then they later came out with Blue and Yellow. I'm just saying if you don't know. And then so after Japan came out with that, America came out with Red and Blue instead of Red and Green. And then, we had Yellow version where Pikachu follows you and whatnot. Anything else?
Well, I do in fact not know. Let's start with that. But I do now. So Pokemon, your favorite Pokemon would be
I would say 100% Charizard. And I'm saying that before people were loving Charizard, before he became like a quote unquote mainstream Pokemon that everyone knows and kind of, I mean, I would say he's like on the level of Pikachu, basically. Maybe not a household name, like grandparents and stuff probably know the name Pikachu. Maybe not Charizard, but like popularity wise, I think he's pretty up there
but why Charizard?
because like a fire dragon, like like a fire dragon. Need I say more? Plus the anime also like really helped with that. Not helped with that, but like formed that for me, I guess, growing up. Um, if you haven't watched the series, um, just how Charizard's portrayed in the anime kind of went hand in hand with the games. At least that's how my mind thought about it back then. But yeah, I don't know, just like Just a cool fire dragon. I mean, if you for the short but sweet answer.
Okay, but so as far as the anime and why that, like, contributed towards your love for Charizard, like, paint that picture for me, like, I haven't seen it, tell me about it.
What do you mean?
Do explain.
No, yes, but like I don't. What are you asking?
I'm asking you to kind of now you're asking me to explain things and I don't know. I don't know, like, you're saying, like, from the episodes, like, what happened in the episodes that kind of made you be like, "Wow, yeah, Charizard's the one."
Well, I can't spoil the episodes if you haven't seen them.
Okay, so spoiler alert, close your ears, fast forward, we'll pop up on the screen
No, I
later
don't
of
want
how
to.
far to go.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
I'll forget.
Oh my god. No, just at least in that time as a kid watching it, even till now, because it's still my favorite Pokemon. Just the way it's portrayed in the anime, just multiple episodes of like from the funny arc, I'll call it the funny arc of like Charizard being disobedient to Ash and not listening, and like hitting him with a flamethrower or something, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It was kind of like, oh, this is a cool dragon and it's kind of funny. And then later on, as the anime progresses and whatnot, like Charizard finally starts obeying after they have kind of like a heart to heart thing happen. And then Charizard's like his number one ace. And I don't know. It's just something about like watching the growth of it.
You know, I did say I'd forget, but I'm not gonna lie, you just gave me a little, memory unlocked moment as you were explaining that. I was able to remember actually watching some episodes when I was younger, so thank you for that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah?
So, how about for you, though?
What are you
Like,
asking?
what you're currently, maybe not currently right now, but you are playing Pokemon, right? On a Game Boy Color.
I dabble. I dabble.
Dabble.
I do.
What game are you playing? Does it rhyme with silver?
No, I think it might just be silver.
Oh my god. Yes, it is indeed silver. Um, so yeah, what made you start playing that, or how did you get that?
Yes. So there's this guy in my life and he made me a Game Boy with my favorite colors. And yeah, that's kind of the game that's in it. But no, I do remember kind of playing a Pokemon game when I was younger. I cannot for the life of me remember which one. I want to say yellow, but I also want to say that's wrong.
Did Pikachu follow you?
I don't remember. Um, no, but I don't know. I just remember that it was fun and, Pokemon just continues to be such a big thing and maybe you call me a follower, but it's intriguing to me when I see a lot of people very interested in something and I'm like, "Hey, I want to know what that's all about."
A
So,
follower? That's just an NPC.
listen. That's what I've been told I am, but maybe someday I will have such grandmaster knowledge and be the main character
Mm.
and.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, so all right, so regarding your Pokemon, we decided on you're currently playing Silver, right?
Yes.
So what have you been doing in the game? Like, are you understanding it?
No,
Is okay.
no, no, I've been getting confused.
Ah.
I had a very nice flow for a lot of hours, um, and then nada. I have no clue what to do next. I do not know what's going on, and tell me why I never know where my surf and fly Pokemon are at. So that's
In your party,
frustrating. No,
hopefully.
no. Always in Bill's
The
PC.
PC,
Never where they belong.
the NPC puts her Pokemon in the PC.
It's a learning experience, and I will say I've been told that I have this thing for highly training one specific Pokemon, maybe two. So my party is not really weighing well. I don't know what to do next. I get confused of where I need to be. It's been a struggle.
So, okay, you say you get confused. Keep in mind it's a children's game. And so like what do you get confused on? Because if I remember from a previous conversation, you're still actually have you done the Goldenrod City, the radio tower side quest?
I believe I have. And I'm aware it's a children's game, but I like to think of it as children are so much more imaginative. They like to explore their just, their brain is just a little more fun. And I think that that can play really heavily into being important with Pokemon because I will tell you, as an adult and not just having the answer right in front of me on what to do next, it's kind of frustrating. But I feel like as a kid, I probably could have navigated it and enjoyed just kind of experiencing the adventure.
Yeah, like getting lost for hours because you have time to kill.
Yeah, but now that I don't have time to kill because life and things, it's kind of like I just want to accomplish something and to sit there for an hour and be in the same spot when I'm done as when I started because I'm just kind of like I'm missing something and I don't know what. And my problem too is I don't know what I want to do with the game. Like, do I want to go through the game? Do I want to do what a living dex, I believe is what it's called or whatnot? Like, do I want to catch them all? Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't have a goal in
Gotta
mind.
catch them all, unless it's Gen 3 and you can't obtain certain ones anymore from in-person events from 2003 or 4.
And that would just infuriate me. And honestly, I will say Gen 1, maybe 2, all the way. I like how the Pokemon look. I like just everything about it, the graphics, the details, whatnot. It's
So
enjoyable to me.
you like all right, so as far as recent games then to draw the comparison, what are like the most do you know what the most recent games are that you've seen gameplay of or like how long ago at least?
No.
uh
I couldn't tell you what they were. I can say I have seen, gameplay of the ones that just seem too real, if that makes sense. Like the colors are too vibrant and the Pokemon are too they just have too much going on and the characters just I mean, I look like I'm watching a movie. I don't feel like it's like, yeah, I'm sitting here on my Game Boy doing something in the 90s, early 2000s.
Now I'm
Like
on
it's
my
just
Switch with a high definition
yeah.
backlit screen.
Right. And I don't want that. I don't enjoy that. The sounds are different, the colors are different, the names are different. The
Names.
Yeah, I mean there's the new
Oh,
Pokemon.
you mean like okay. So in my mind when you're talking about new games for some reason I'm thinking of like the remakes of the old games.
No, just all of it in general. Like I like where it started in an unpopular opinion, it could have stayed there. Like,
I don't think
I
that's unpopular at all.
okay, well, that's good to know.
I think I mean maybe I just live in a bubble, but I especially my age, it's like I think majority of people, I think I can safely say majority of people my or around my age heavily prefer the first at least 4 generations. Maybe even the 5th, but like at least the first 4. Definitely first 4. And then in my opinion, like the remakes, at least on the 3DS, are spectacular. Like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and which is considered Gen 4 when that released. And then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which was Gen 6, well, remake of Gen 3, but released in Gen 6 times when X and Y came out in 2013. Anyway, so I think the remakes are actually phenomenal. Like there's so much extra things that you can do in the remakes typically, and like Heart Gold and Soul Silver and the OROS is what the fandom calls it. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, OROS. So I don't know. I think the remakes are spectacular until like the 2D. I know there's some 3D like on the 3DS, but overall like the 2D sprites and things like that, I to me it's kind of like a lost art or something because yeah, I compare that to the newer games and the newer graphics. And don't get me wrong, like I'm always going to buy Pokemon games as long as they release. But I do prefer that generation like 1 through 5 technically, I guess, or 6 really if we're doing the
I feel like
remakes.
you just kind of keep extending your generations here.
Well, no, I'm saying it as like definitely 1 through 4, but I'm speaking like I guess for other people like for the pixel art sprites and stuff, which would include the Gen 5 and like I guess technically the Gen 6.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me ask then, because I think my best memory when it comes to playing Pokemon would actually be Pokemon Stadium, for the N64 mini games all the way. Does that jump into one of these gen things, or is this like a handheld Game Boy, other kind of gameplay exclusive kind of category?
So the gens, I guess just to clarify it, like each generation is basically when the new Pokemon games come out. So and they, of course go in order from 1 through 9 we're up to. 10's about to come out later this year, I believe, or early next year, one of those. On the Switch though,
Oh, of
not the
course.
pixel art. Anyway, so generations, so Gen 1 are the first games that ever released. In the US, red and blue and yellow. In Japan, the red and green, blue and yellow. Um and then Gen 2 is what you're playing, gold, silver, and crystal. And then Ruby, Sapphire, Emeralds, Gen 3. Basically, each new game is a new generation, essentially. Like if it's like a totally new game and not like a remake or something.
So I don't think that totally answered my question then. So are you saying that like Pokemon Stadium on the N64 is what
Oh
generation
yeah,
is
sorry. I
that?
was giving backstory of like what the generations are themselves. So yeah, I guess to tie that in. So are you asking what generation Stadium is?
I mean, yeah, like is it a generation or is it not classified as
Well, yeah,
such?
yeah. So there's Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, and Stadium 1 came out with Gen 1, and then Stadium 2 came out with the Gold, Silver, and Crystal Pokemon, so Gen 2 is how I would classify it.
Okay. Okay.
And then GameCube, they had Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gala Darkness, so I would consider that Gen 3 because that came out pretty much to tie in with the Gen 3 games, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald.
What's that game where you're like running around a park with like it's like your team against another team and you have to go into like the bubble things? I've played it on the Switch before. I can't think of what it was
A
called.
Pokemon game?
Yeah, a Pokemon game. You're like, you're a Pokemon, you're running around with these other Pokemon, and you have to, I guess, like capture the side of the park or something. I didn't quite grasp it while I
On
was
Switch?
playing. Yeah, on Switch.
Okay, you're talking about, oh god, what is it called? Oh man, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the
Yeah, like
important
I can
thing.
picture it, but
It's yeah, I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
well, it's by far the worst game I've ever played in my life.
What?
It was so unenjoyable.
I'm looking it up right now. I am looking it up. It's not definitely not that. Not Champions, not Let's Go. Come on, where's it at? Unite. Pokemon Unite. That's what it
Yes,
is.
yes. 10 out of 10 don't recommend.
I actually liked it a lot when it
It's
came out.
so boring and frustrating. I was just I don't know, I just think about that game sometimes and I'm like, "I'm not getting that time back in my life," and that's just it.
What? I liked it. I mean, I haven't played it in a while, but I remember when it first dropped, I was on it a lot.
Mm-mm-mm.
So they got yeah, Pokemon Unite, but that I mean, Unite is kind of like a spin-off thing, I guess anyway. And then they actually just recently came out with Pokemon Champions. That one's kind of focused on battling.
Yeah, I recently had that one recommended to me to try out, but I was just kind of like, battling is honestly my least favorite part of playing Pokemon. Well, let me rephrase because I like battling the trainers when I'm playing on my Game Boy. I very much enjoy that. But if I'm playing like Pokemon Stadium, the last thing I want to do is battle. Um, and that at that time, like I think I've said already, I really enjoy the mini games. But Pokemon Champions, I was just kinda like, if it's mostly about battling, I'm not sure that I really have that interest.
It's pretty much it's just straight up battling. Like,
Have you played it?
um, I man, I think I played it once. Once.
And your thoughts?
See, it's funny because I actually really enjoy the battling. I'm actually very competitive, just gaming in general.
You don't
That's
say.
that that's why when I grew up like playing Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, things like that, I was extremely competitive, like MLG hardcore. Those who listening, if you know, you know.
MLG?
Yep, if you know, you know.
I wanna know,
But you don't.
but I want to.
Major League Gaming, MLG. It was
Ooh.
like, man, I wish I could go back. Ah, there's days, dude. Massive tournaments and like the best stuff. Kids today don't know.
Kids today don't know. Kids today don't seem to know very much of anything.
Especially older Pokemon games.
Even newer Pokemon, so if you say Pokemon, a lot of them are like, "Pikachu." Okay, and what else? I mean, I don't know a lot about Pokemon, but I know more than just Pikachu. If I
Yeah.
have one more toddler tell me Pikachu's their favorite Pokemon when they come into my work, I'm just gonna be like, "Pick a different one, please."
Mm-mm.
I mean, Pikachu's pretty cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, I got my Pikachu socks and I rock them, but
Pikachu socks.
yeah, Pikachu
Wow.
socks, Pikachu tee,
Wow. Tea? Like a tea bag?
like a t-shirt. A
T-shirt. Ah, okay.
t-shirt. But
Okay.
really, my heart belongs to
Maybe we'll
Squirtle.
throw a picture up of the shirt or something.
No.
Why?
'Cause that's my biz.
Okay, what do you mean your biz?
Like, my business, what? Put my business out there all over the internet? Like, I don't know, I mean, I get some people do that. I know with your YouTube channel, I'm seeing a lot. Tell me about that, by the way. I wanna hear more about, like, your plans for your page. Like, what can we expect to see going forward?
So I have no plans. I live a
Okay.
life where I don't plan anything. Just like this video episode, I keep trying to not say the word podcast because I don't know, I hate that. Anyway, so my plans with the channel, I don't necessarily have any plans planned, but overall, I would like to just, of course, producing Pokemon content, strictly gens 1 through 4. Um, just kind of go from there. Like for me, I'm just kind of posting videos and like if growth happens, then it happens. If not, oh well. Like I'm not doing this as a full-time thing. I have an actual job. Like I'm not some big YouTuber or trying to become some big YouTuber. Like it's really just kind of like a fun thing for me.
An actual job. Is that a hit at the internet world right
That is
now?
a hit unless you're in like the top 10 percentile of channels actually
Mm.
making a living from it.
Okay, okay, a little judgmental, but whatever works. All right, so tell me what inspired your Pokemon Fire Red in real life video because that one was fun to watch.
Honestly, it was not planned at all. Just went out, didn't even record with an actual camera. I don't know if you could tell, but just straight up using the camera on my phone, which I did not want to do because I actually have a camera now. Just waiting for the lens to get delivered so I can use it.
Okay.
But there was literally no plan with that video. I did bring my analog pocket to play Fire Red. Like Fire Red just happened to be the game in the handheld. So that's kind of what, we went with. But yeah, nothing at first nothing was planned. Like I brought it out there just so I could play the game, if there was downtime on the little bike ride that you see at the beginning, or walking around or whatever. But there was literally nothing planned. And then I just kind of pulled the phone out, I think, and was recording like scenery or something. And I was like, you know what? Let's actually make a video of just playing the game out in the actual outdoors.
Okay, yeah, pretty cool. And I like though how like so much of it kind of went hand in hand with the game though. Like that was fun. Definitely kudos on the Macargo. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, mag cargo.
Okay, Mag Cargo, you're 1% chance, 10%, 1%. Oh man, I'm failing here.
10%. As if I didn't make it clear in the video twice. So the only way to get mag cargo in Fire Red is using Rock Smash on the rocks. Now, when you do that, there is only a 10% chance to even encounter anything at all. So it's like, more rare to even do that or to even have a Pokemon appear from a rock. But then to even get a Mag Cargo is a 10% on top of that 10%. So it equals 1%. So overall, it's a 1% encounter for the Mag Cargo specifically. And like, I know the video, like the second half of the video was basically a focus on the whole Mag Cargo thing, which is so weird because it's such a, like, it's a really cool Pokemon from Gen 2, but it's something I've probably never used in a playthrough. Like, no one really thinks about it too much. You know what I mean? Like, but so it was kind of funny how that became like the focus of the second half of the video. But, it was just going out on a bike ride and whatnot, and just kind of wound up pulling the phone out and trying to get some cool shots or photos at first, I think, and then just kind of turned into a video.
Well, speaking of cool shots, I want to give a little shout out to Oinky Doinky right now
Well, we don't
because
do promotion on this channel.
hey, not a promotion, just some general respect. That little pig in your videos just brightens my day.
I have a photo of Jesus riding him that I'll throw up on the screen because it is a funny photo.
Okay, Jesus riding the pig.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
Kind of like in Pokemon terms, I guess it could be like Arceus riding a Grumpig or something, which I know you probably don't know what that visual would look like, but maybe I'll whip up something in Photoshop and put it on the screen.
All right, so looking forward to seeing that. But in the meantime, tell me about Arceus. Let me at least try and get a visual going on here.
So Arceus is basically the god Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. Um,
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember Arceus actually because what is that? The Pokemon. I'm sure there's a million, but no, Pokemon. Uh, TCG Pocket. Okay, yes, in my deck that I'm always crushing it
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so tell me about the pig one then.
Grumpig, I mean, I think maybe it made an anime appearance or two. It's a Gen 3 Pokemon. It's Spoink evolves into Grumpig, which you would never really like. Spoink kind of has like a pig nose, and it's a little like spring, but it's hard to explain. I'll show you the photo later, but like it evolves into Grumpig, which is a pig Pokemon.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed then to hear that Oinky Doinky's name was not Spoinky Doinky.
Okay, that's actually a good one. Maybe we'll change that.
He didn't change his name this far into his life.
I don't know. I think I could, but I don't know. Are there like, because a lot of Pokemon are based on animals, like
Yeah, that I
insects
have
and
learned.
animals. Did you know originally when Pokemon was made, it was created because the creator Satoshi Tajiri, he like basically created Pokemon off of his love for collecting insects.
Gross, but neat how it got us to where we are now.
Like, he was that kid at school who was, like, collecting insects.
Just walking around with the bugs. "Hey, guys, look at this."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you gotta read, like I think he has a book out or autobiography or something. Maybe not. I could be making that up. But yeah, I don't know. It's actually Pokemon. I mean, that's a whole separate conversation, but Pokemon almost just did not come out. Like, they actually pitched it to Nintendo, I think, more than once and got shot down by Nintendo because they just didn't like it. I guess it needed more polish or something. And I think from there, I don't want to get the story wrong, but basically, Pokemon was so close to just never happening, especially just outside of Japan in general. But it almost just didn't come out whatsoever.
Honestly, though, like, with as big as it is, I just that's so hard to believe. Like, I do believe you, and I've watched, like, so much stuff to back up what you're saying, but it's just to sit here and think of, like, a world without Pokemon, like, it's kind of like I look at you and I think, "Who would you be? What would you actually be into if Pokemon just never happened?"
Yeah, like what it is. It's crazy to think about. I mean, that's a whole deeper life topic, I think, of like, hey, if XYZ didn't exist, how would people be or whatever? But I mean, with Pokemon specifically, I really don't know. I mean, if it didn't exist, obviously I wouldn't know what I'm missing, but it's just crazy to look back on it and think that because it's like, wow, yeah, if it didn't exist and it's like part of so many people's lives and household names and just stuff like that. I mean, I guess I would have had to find something else that I really liked. I mean, some other stuff that I was super into and still am, um, RuneScape and things like that, but in Halo, but you know what I mean? It's like if it didn't exist with how huge it is, it's just kind of crazy. Like, I think the world would genuinely be different because, especially in like Japan, like so many things over there have Pokemon and Pokemon inspired just all over the country itself because it's just such a big thing and Japan's cool. And it's just like, yeah, none of that would be up. None of that. Like, what would be the replacement of Pokemon to kind of like take over the globe, really? Just like I said, like just household names, global um, impact.
See, and I'm kinda curious to hear that and curious, like, other people that are big Pokemon fans, like, it really is just kind of, like, shaping them through their life and such. Like, I wanna know what people think. How would their life be different? Actually, I'd kinda like to read that in the comments, little interactive moment here. I wanna hear about what would your life be like without the existence of Pokemon?
Yeah, and it's one of those things to theorize about. I don't know if anyone could say for sure just because it is a part of people's lives, but I know back then the biggest things were like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, um, Digimon to an extent, and then I guess whatever Japan had at the time that was like super popular. Definitely like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. But that's the thing. It's like Dragon Ball Z and all these other things that we've mentioned, it doesn't have as much as an impact like Pokemon does. Like, yeah, majority of people probably have heard of what Dragon Ball slash Dragon Ball Z, whatever is, or Goku at least, and main characters and things like that, but not to the scale of Pokemon, in my opinion.
No, without a doubt. Like, it's definitely you see it more, you hear it more. It is just so wide known.
And I think at least like when I was a kid growing up, um, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh was like at least that's how it is in my mind from what I remember because I remember I don't know if it was like before school or on the weekends or something, but it was always like Yu-Gi-Oh and then Pokemon came on, or maybe the other way around. But it was like always those two shows.
It's so crazy that somehow Pokemon just kinda took over so much more for you. Like, yeah, you had the option of Yu-Gi-Oh! You had the option of millions of other anime shows out there,
Oh,
but
that was our timer. All
in
right.
the middle of a sentence.
Yes, I'm sorry. So not to interrupt you, but we can continue this on episode 2. Do you want to do an episode 2?
Yeah, so until next time, but really leave those comments. What would your life be without Pokemon?
What would it be without? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we will pick it up with episode 2.
Bye.